Hello, and welcome to the first lecture of linear functions and the graphs. So in this video, I will briefly explain what do linear lines look like, and I will also go over all the formulas related to linear lines. So this is a this is a super quick first lecture, but it's still important. Yeah, so this is the first lecture of the first in this course. Okay, so what do linear functions look like? So that's very important. It's very important how what this looks like. So one way a linear line looks like is it looks positive direction and it's going to the right. So as you can see, it's not a parabola. It doesn't make that U shape. It's just a straight line that's going to the right. So that's one form of a linear line. The second form is a negative linear function. So it goes on the negative side. See how it's a straight line and it's going negative. Okay, so that is the second form of a linear line. And the last two, believe it or not, a linear line can be completely vertical. Yes, it can. So this is a vertical linear line. And the key is if you can tell it's a linear line if it's x equals a constant. So that's very important. So it's x equals, for example, x equals 3. So it has to be constant. It cannot equal to x equals 3y or 3x, right? It just has to be x equals a constant, right? And just note, for right now, I just want you to understand that the slope for vertical linear line is undefined. We'll go over slopes in a different lesson, but right now I just want you to know that the slope for vertical line is undefined. Okay. So that is, and then the last form is completely horizontal. Okay, so yeah, so it's completely horizontal like this. Y equals a constant. And for example, y equals 2, right? Or y equals -1. It has to be a constant. Yeah, it's going to go completely horizontal. And just note, for right now, I just want you to understand that the slope for horizontal linear line is m equals 0. We'll go over slopes in like the next lecture, but right now, yeah. Okay, so those are the 4 terms of a linear line. It could be in a positive, negative, it could be completely vertical, and it could be completely horizontal. Okay. Whoops, sorry, that's okay. So then these are all the equations related to linear functions. So I want you to write this down. Go ahead and press pause if you need to. So the first equation is the most famous one. You're probably going to use it most often. It's called the slope-intercept form. So it's equal to y equals mx plus b. You're going to see that a lot in this lecture. So y equals mx plus b. So an example would be like y equals 3x plus 2. Okay, so we'll talk about graphing and all that stuff in another video, but I just want you to know that this is slope-intercept form. And then the second, another form of a linear line is called point-slope form. It's y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. So this is called point-slope form. Okay, so maybe an example would be like y minus 3 equals to 2 parentheses x minus 5, something like that. So as long as it's in this form, you have it in point-slope form. The third form of a linear line is called standard form. Yes, they do sometimes ask for standard form. So standard form is when all the letters are on one side and then you have a constant on the right. So an example would be like 3x plus 2y equals to 12, right? See how you can tell you have it in standard form if all the letters is on the left side and then you have a constant on the right. Okay. And then formula for slope, this is also very important. Sometimes they'll ask if you need to graph it, you need to know the slope. So it's y, so m means slope equals to y2. So this is a subscript. It doesn't say, it's not y squared, it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that's going to be very helpful when they give you 2 points, 2 coordinates, and they want you to find for slope. So if you see any of these equations, they're all related to a linear function. So I want you to write it down. So go ahead and pause to write down all the formulas, because they will come up again in later in the lesson. Okay, and yes, let's just do the quiz. It's a very simple quiz. I'm not going to put it in another video. I'll just put it here. This is a very short lecture. Okay, so let's do our first quiz. There's 3 parts. They're all true or false. So if you need to go ahead and pause the video to write down the problem, go ahead. So question for first part says true or false, the equation x equals 3 is a linear line. And go ahead and pause if you need to. So yeah, what do you think? I think it is. Yes. This is x equals a constant, so you know it's going to be vertical. So it would look definitely something like this. Right? So this is x equals 3. It's a vertical line. It's still part of the linear function family. Okay. Question 2, true or false? The equation y equals x squared plus 1 is a linear line. Okay, go ahead. Put some time to think about it. It would be false. See how there's a power 2? That's definitely a parabola, and it would look something like this. You have a y-intercept of 1, and then it's a U-shaped parabola like that. So this is not part of the linear line, so that's why it's false. Question 3. True or false, the equation 3x plus 9y equals to 2 is a linear line? Okay, couple seconds. What do you guys think? I'm going to say true. It is in standard form. It is an ax plus by equals c. That is a linear line, and what this graph would look like when you graph it, which I haven't taught you yet, but I will in the next lesson. It would look something like this. It's going to somehow go to the right. So yeah, this is definitely a linear line, and so the first one is true, the second one is false, and the third one is true. Okay. Okay, so the next video is about, we're going to be finding slope of a linear line. Okay, that's it for this section.